stand and give us 30 seconds of who you are and why you're running. And Pinky?
Good evening. I'm Pinky Jackal, and I'm the Supervisor of Elections, and I have been for 11 months. So far, I've conducted 4 successful elections. I've upgraded the office in many ways and made many improvements. I'm asking you tonight to keep me as supervisor for the next 4 years based upon how I have run the office since I arrived. I believe by the end of tonight that you will agree that I am the most capable candidate to be Supervisor of Elections for Franklin County for the next 4 years. Briefly, I want to thank my family and friends for supporting me tonight, especially my husband is here tonight, my mother, and my sister. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Heather Riley, and I'm thankful for the opportunity given to us by the Republican Party to be here tonight to share our hearts, our thoughts, our visions. Like many candidates tonight, a lifelong resident of Franklin County. My heart and my passion is the voters and the constituents of Franklin County. I worked for 13 years in the elections office under 2 fantastic supervisors of elections. Learned many, many things through the years that have given me a great desire to see our county go further in educating our voters and educating our candidates. Thank you.
What sets you apart for in your abilities to what sets you apart from your opponent with your abilities and your direction? Heather, excuse me? Which one are you starting with? Heather. Ms. Crum.
Thank you. I believe what sets me apart is my years of experience in the office. I started in 2002 under Doris Shaver Gibbs, promoted to assistant supervisor under the late Ida Cooper Elliott. I've had the opportunity to work in every aspect of the office. As have been said, in a small office, you end up doing all the duties in an office. So I've been from front-end voter registration to actually conducting elections in the absence of Ms. Elliott during her last 2 years in office. I successfully also conducted 4 elections during the 2014 election year in her absence. And I just believe that with my heart and my passion for the voters and for the election process that I will do a great job for the voters of this county, and I thank you for considering me.
Ms. Jackal.
I believe what sets me apart first is my educational background. I have a college degree, and I have the equivalent of a master's degree based upon my coursework with the Florida Association of Counties in county government. As a county commissioner and chairman of the county commissioner, I understand the responsibilities and the role that the supervisor of election plays in the county as a constitutional officer. Next, I have conducted 4 elections as supervisor of election with the sole responsibility of conducting those elections. 2 of them were city elections and 2 of them were county-wide elections. We have proven that we can conduct elections without problems. We've conducted 4 so far and there have been no problems. I have proven that I can do this job. Thank you.
Tell us what your personal philosophy is in the role of supervisor of elections. I think that's kind of redundant, isn't it? Okay? Thank you.
The right to vote is one of our great personal freedoms as Americans. And my personal philosophy is to respect the men and women of our great nation that have served and died for our country to protect that freedom. Thank you. My philosophy also is to be honest, to follow all the rules in every way, to run the office so that every candidate believes that whether they win or lose, that the voters decided, and that no election was stolen from them. Be proactive about registering voters, every potential voter. Make sure that every vote is counted and that voters receive their ballots. Make sure that everyone that comes to the supervisor's office feels welcome. Be positive, be a role model in my community. And lastly, be ready if a hurricane comes. Thank you.
I agree with Ms. Jackal. The right to vote is an honor and a privilege, one that was fought valiantly for by the men and women of our armed services, and it's one that we can't take for granted. It's one that we have to continue to strive to educate our community, to educate our voters, to educate the young that it's one of the most important rights they'll ever have is to make their opinion and their voice known. It is my philosophy that the elections office should be an open door office, that it should be transparent, that there should never be a question of the integrity of the vote. It should not matter who you are, where you come from, who your parents are, whether you're a Republican, whether you're a Democrat, whether you're no party affiliation, what the color of your skin is. You have the right to vote. You have the right for your vote to be counted, and you have the right for your voice to be heard.
Heather, you're first this time. What do you consider to be the top 2 issues you would like to improve or correct in the elections office if you were elected?
If elected to office, one of the main issues would be voter registration, to make sure that not only our young people are registered to vote, but also I run into a lot of people in the community that are not registered to vote because they've lost faith in the elections process. And it would be my goal to make sure that that faith in the elections process is restored and that young people are excited about the elections process. The other thing would be voter education. In the past, we went into the high schools, we spoke at civic organizations, we spoke at libraries. I would like to bring that back. I would like to also include going into senior citizens' homes and educating them, giving them the right to of the knowledge that they need to make informed decisions. And also I would like to institute candidate workshops in teaching our candidates what it means to be a candidate, how you go about being a candidate, what all it involves in being a candidate, and also to do the same thing with our election workers.
Did you answer that one? What do you consider to be the top 2 issues you would like to improve to correct the elections office if you were elected?
Working? I've already corrected more issues in the supervisor's office than I could possibly tell you about in an hour tonight. And if a picture tells 1,000 words, then the photographs that I have with me tonight would speak volumes about the condition of the office that I inherited. I have before and after photographs of the condition of the office. I'll share those with y'all, and I'll welcome you to look at these before you leave tonight. One of the issues that I want to continue with is upgrading security in the office. The security of voters' personal information is a major concern today. Prior to taking my office, we did not have the proper security protocols in place. We did not have the proper firewalls in place. And I'm consulting with our IT provider to do what we need to do to take that to the next level, along with one other main thing, cleaning up the 1,600 undelivered mail ballots that came back to my office during the school special election. Thank you.
Okay, this is for Pinky Jackal. Although you have been in the office for only a short time, please tell us what you feel that you have accomplished.
When I consider what my staff and I have accomplished in such a brief time since we have been in office, the saying goes, out of chaos comes opportunity, and I'm really amazed. On a personal level, overcoming the criticism and negativity that my office has been the target of by letters to the editor and Facebook is a victory, and I give God the glory for that. Some of our accomplishments include conducting 4 elections without any issues, preserving all of the registration documents on the cloud, securing blank ballots and absentee ballots behind a locked door, implementing written procedures for our new voting equipment, following to the letter canvassing rules of opening ballots, destroying over 3,000 expired election records that were everywhere throughout the office and even in the old jail. And last but not least, removing the former supervisor of elections that retired in 2009 from administrative access to the state's computers and voter records. Thank you.
Heather, due to the illness of the former supervisor of elections, you were acting supervisor. Please tell us what you feel that you accomplished in that role. Turn it back on.
I was not active supervisor. I was still only administrative assistant. I was never given any authority in the office while she was absent, but yet I carried on her duties. We successfully conducted a mail ballot election for Alligator Point. We successfully conducted a special referendum for the county. We conducted a gubernatorial primary and general election with no problems. Everything went smoothly. I conducted the day-to-day operations of the office. I attended a small county caucus where we were able to contain HAVA grant funds for the new equipment that was brought into the office. I prepared and had everything up to the minute ready for when Ms. Jackal took over for the Carabel election. All she had to do was be there. So I feel like I did everything that I needed to do to maintain Ms. Elliott's reign as supervisor, but I was not supervisor. I had no authority to make any decisions. I had no authority to do anything in that office but to carry on.
This is one from the audience. Other than what Florida statute or supervisor election requires, what have you done to make the supervisor of elections better for the voter and the candidates? Pinky? Yeah, go ahead.
I previously mentioned the before and after photographs I have here tonight, which I believe fairly represent the condition of the office that my opponent left behind while she was acting supervisor, or has said that she did not have the authority to act as supervisor, but she certainly was a lead role in that office. The office was completely disorganized. Stacks of stuff everywhere. Hallways were impassable. The men's room had filing cabinets in it and was not even usable. We destroyed 3,000 pounds of paper. That's 1.5 tons of paper of expired election records. Not to mention the construction-sized container that was hauled to the landfill of just junk. We have worked very hard to clean up and organize the office and to upgrade the office. We've had very positive comments from the public and from others that have visited the office. And there's the bottom line. Leadership makes a difference, and I have proven that I can be a leader in that office and make a difference for the citizens of Franklin County. Thank you.
The question is, other than what the Florida statute or the supervisor of election requires, what have you done to make the superintendent's office better for the voter and the candidate, or the candidates, or both?
All I can speak is what I will do. As I said, when you're under someone's administration, you don't change things. You don't go behind them and clean up their mess. You wait for them. You honor your authority, and I had authority over me, and I was not able to do anything in that office that I was not given authority to do. But if I am elected, Ms. Jackal has put in place some wonderful things. I'm very proud of some of the things that she has instituted in the office, because it's things that I had on a list of things that I would have liked to accomplish, and I hope to be able to accomplish and to move forward with. I hope to be able to continue to upgrade our voter registration system, to continue to upgrade our voting equipment, to move forward with the security procedures that have been in place, and I look forward to any challenge that arises, because I believe I can stand up and meet that challenge.
Because you have grouped some of your answers to some of the questions that we have, I'm going to give you 30 seconds each to say what you would do in the future, or how you would update the office, or whatever you'd like to say in 30 seconds. Heather, you would go first.
I would just like to say that it's been a great opportunity to be here tonight. This is my first time, and it's actually been pretty fun. One thing that I would just like to make sure that you as a voter know is that I'm a completely transparent person. What you see is what you get. And I would run the elections office with the utmost honesty and integrity. Every voter would know without a doubt that their vote is precious and that it's being taken care of. And I just appreciate your consideration when you go to the polls on November 8th. Thank you.
This is your last question, and it's 30 seconds of whatever you'd like to say, updating or conditions, whatever you'd like to say in 30 seconds. Will we have a closing statement at the end, but not, this is, because you have grouped so much of the questions into your answers, I don't want to be redundant.
So what I would continue with upgrading in the office are two things, very simply put. We would continue to upgrade the security level of our firewall in our office. Our personal information in the future will be a major concern. Our personal information will become under attack in the years to come. We've got to do everything we can to protect your information and thereby protect your voting right. The second thing I would do is to continue working on upgrading our facility. Our facility is in bad shape, needs to be upgraded, and improve the ADA accessibility of the office. Thank you.